Grey County.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hi, and welcome to My River District, a show about Owen Sound, the River District, and why locals love it here. I'm sitting here today with my friend Maxine Kitto of Owen Sound. We've known each other for just about forever, and we are talking today about a new business coming to the River District called the Rumpus Room. Now, by the time you watch this, it will be open, so you better be marking your calendars for any of their upcoming dates. Hi, Maxine.
Hello.
How's it going?
Not so bad.
Welcome to My River District. Thanks for coming in today. I'm really looking forward to chatting with you a little bit about this new business that you guys have going on. I feel like it kind of came out of nowhere, but I'm so excited about it. I'm sure things were working differently on your back end and stuff like that. But for me, I was just like, oh my God, Maxine is opening a business in the River District? I can't believe it. I'm so excited.
Well, this is definitely a passion project that we've had in mind for years and years and years through our travels and our experiences, but it just never came into fruition. So when the opportunity came up that Ramped wanted to find new owners for the space, where it can be music, events, dance, that's definitely a key word. Yeah, that's the priority. We jumped on it. So it did actually happen fairly quickly, but the dream and the thought process has been there for pretty much since I was a child.
Oh my goodness. Well, you didn't tell me when we were kids, so it couldn't have been when we were that little. So a little bit of history. Maxine and I have known each other for, I don't know, forever. We won't date ourselves, but we were both in French immersion, and so we were stuck together pretty much until high school almost. It was a fairly small class, and we went up all the levels together and had the same teachers and everything like that. So we've known each other for a hot minute. And it turns out almost our entire class has moved back to the city.
Yes.
Which is kind of crazy, but also amazing because some of our classmates opened Casero. And they're working at, different places in town and stuff like that. So I loved that you moved back here from Australia. And earlier when we were speaking, I said, was it because something there tried to kill you? Because Australia is incredibly scary for me.
Oh, it's such a beautiful and wonderful place to be for sure.
Where everything tries to kill you. Clearly I need to go there to experience it.
Just the snakes and spiders. Yeah.
And the slugs and the lizards and everything. But before coming back to town, you guys had quite the adventures. You were living in Australia. Before that, where were you? Were you back here?
Well, I worked in Bosnia for a while as well.
Just worked in Bosnia.
Yeah, so we've been kind of traveling the world quite a bit. We backpacked through Asia for a year.
Oh my gosh.
And both went to Australia for education. I got my teacher's diploma. Then I taught in Australia for 10 years. But then people always ask, why did you move? And part of the reason is because we had two sons in Australia, and we really had to make the choice of where do we want them to be raised? And I had such fond memories of Owen Sound and having such a wonderful childhood here. And plus our family was here. Mm-hmm. So it was a really easy decision to make. We really wanted them to go into French immersion in my hometown.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I had the exact same thing when I wanted to move back to town. I thought, I want to have a kid at some point. Where would I want to raise my kid? I want to raise my kid the same way that I was raised, in Owen Sound.
Yes.
And in the school system, and, where it's safe and easy to play road hockey or whatever else.
Mountain biking. We're not far away from Blue Mountain, where we go skiing all the time. My youngest is like a killer snowboarder.
Oh, jeez.
And and Sauble's just around the corner as well. So we have these like amazing natural resources right at our fingertips.
Yeah, so why wouldn't you want to move back here?
Yeah.
But Sean's not from here.
No, Sean's not from here. I dragged him to this town, but he's super happy to live here. Yeah.
So this is a joint venture between the two of you to open up the Rumpus Room.
Yes.
Okay. And yes, so Ramped was in that space, High Five Social was in that space, and they were looking for new blood to come in. And so you guys jumped on the opportunity, and I heard rumblings before it was kind of out there from my friend Shane over at Georgia Bay Woodworking, who was working on some of your furniture.
Yes, he's done an incredible job. All the furniture in our place is locally sourced. It's literally from a tree that he planed himself, an ash tree. So all the wood is like beyond local, handmade, locally sourced. And we're trying to do a similar vibe with our drinks as well.
Okay.
So the majority of our drinks are from Ontario and from the region, but we also are bringing in a little taste of Europe too.
I'm in.
So we have the local drinks, and we also have some cocktails that are based on our trip through Italy.
Oh my gosh, tell me more about that.
Yeah. So we just got back from Italy. We left for 5 weeks.
Oh, right. So this was like recently.
Yeah, just very recently. Yeah. And just had an absolutely wonderful time. And that's part of the inspiration for this place, because we just kind of want the good times to keep rolling, you know, and we want people to like have a fun space.
Yeah.
To come and dance and have some cocktails and meet with friends.
So tell me about the European inspired cocktails.
Well, we have Aperol and Campari Spritz.
Okay.
Yeah, which are like really delicious and fresh. And Negronis, Manhattans.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the classics.
The classics.
I love that. Tell me a little bit more about the vibe of the Rumpus Room. So it's got wood furniture made here, grown here, by a local guy.
Yes.
You walk in. What should we be expecting? What's the vibe?
Well, there's really comfortable seating for 40 people.
Okay.
So you can definitely have a seat and be comfy. But the vibe also is to kind of mingle and talk. And we're going to have great music. We have a whole bunch of local bands lined up until pretty much December, the end of December.
Wow.
So the vibe will be come down to see a show. And after the show, we're going to have some DJ music playing. So continue the party and dance after.
So here's the one thing. And at the time of the recording of this episode, you aren't open yet. But by the time this airs, you will be open. So I haven't had a chance to go in yet. And so you've got seating for about 40 people. And then do you have a dance floor? Or is it at the end of the night, you kind of like move all the furniture away and it becomes the dance floor?
No, we do have a mini dance floor ready.
Okay.
So the fun thing is, if there's only even 5 people dancing, it will feel like a crowd. You're never going to feel lonely in there.
So it's an intimate space.
Yes.
And you are opening on September 30th.
Yes.
With, tell me the name of the...
So Urban Waters is playing for us that night.
Okay.
He's our friend and
also local.
Also very, very local. He raps with Sean as well. They have their own separate like little rap group. He's just a really talented artist, a really cool guy. And then after his show's done, Sean, DJ Kim Crawford, is playing.
That's really great.
Yeah. And that's our white wine, is Kim Crawford.
Okay.
So
okay,
there you go.
I see where the DJ Kim Crawford came from. So I can already tell that the space is just going to be full of fun and a little bit of silliness and not been taken too seriously, which is, I think, something that everybody needs.
That's it.
So is the idea that this is going to be predominantly on Friday, Saturday nights? Will you run things during the week?
Well, we have hours Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
5 to late. So whatever that may be.
As long as the party is going.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
Awesome.
We're also having wine taste testing nights as well that are going to take place on the Thursdays.
Okay. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Local wines and stuff like that, or wines from all over?
Wines from all over, and I think specifically French wines.
Ooh, okay,
yes.
I'm in.
And it will be catered by the Milkmaid as well.
Okay,
So
there's already partnerships created to make this. Okay, I love that.
So there's just a lot of interesting things that are going to happen in there. It's not one specific vibe. It's many different vibes.
I love that. That's incredible. And I know that Owen Sound is ready for a space like this. And people my age, which is very young, is looking for a space where you can sit and hang out, but also have those components of music and dancing if you want it and all that kind of stuff. So it's, that kind of like multi-use space.
Yeah. And it's funny that you said that you're old because...
I said I was young. You're saying I'm old.
Excuse me. We're really hoping to get a wide range of ages coming down. It's not just for like the young people, or it's for everybody. It's for the community.
That's awesome.
And as a matter of fact, we're hosting a couple all ages shows as well.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yes. So it's not, most nights are 19 plus, but we will have some to accommodate the teens of Owen Sound too.
That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see kind of your roster and stuff like that. Do you guys have a website? Not yet. Not yet, but maybe by the time this airs.
We have an Instagram account, but yeah, we will have a website. I have to get on that.
Yeah, I mean, you're new. Yeah. You're brand new.
Yes.
Like, this is a new thing for Owen Sound, by Owen Sound, that kind of stuff. So no expectation that you have all of these things ready at this moment. And we will grow with you, and stay tuned to your social media channels and stuff like that to make sure that we stay in touch and engaged in everything that you're bringing to the community. Just before we go to break, I'm just really curious about these wine nights that you're going to be having on Thursdays. So they're going to have charcuterie by the Milkmaid.
Yes.
You're going to have some French wines. Are these ticketed events?
You can buy tickets in advance.
Okay.
That's like super recommended.
Sure.
Actually, the wine nights, you do need to buy a ticket in advance.
Okay.
Because the spaces are limited. And that will be through us. You can come in and buy a ticket.
Okay.
Or email us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So my producer's in my ear. And he's like, is that starting the first month that you're open?
Yes.
He's very curious about it, as am I. So when can we expect to be able to start going in to get tickets?
September 23rd.
Okay, so you'll be open to the public to come in and start buying tickets for all of the shows that you're going to have kind of going forward.
Actually, something that's really important to say is that we're working in conjunction with Sour Cat Records.
Awesome.
With Russ that's working there. He's kind of like our booking agent.
Russ is amazing.
Yeah. And I think because we're not going to be open daytime hours, what's going to end up happening is that he will have the tickets for us at his shop.
That's amazing. And we're going to learn more about that as soon as we come back from this break.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. If you watched us this week with head coach Greg Walters here on Attack Ramp, next week we'll be live Tuesday, 7 o'clock in the studio, and we will have Madden Steen and Jackson Stewart. Jackson coming back from Ottawa. Looking forward to getting him on the show here. Make sure you tune in, 7 o'clock p.m. on Tuesday.
Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be the name. And when it seems I can't be found, just turn around. I am shouting ground.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures.
Lovely viewers, it's your host of On the Couch, Antoine El Hashim, reminding you to tune in for every episode of Season 9 of the longest running and most loved local queer talk show on Rogers TV. Check it out.
Max, thanks for staying with us, and thanks to you for staying with us. let's continue our wonderful conversation about the new business, the Rumpus Room, that you are opening up. And I am so excited for this. You don't even understand. I'm just bubbling up with excitement inside. I've got 1,000,001 questions for you. And I don't know if you can answer them all, but I'm just going to just run through them all. And because I'm sure our viewers also want to know, what is this place? What is this wonderful event space that you guys are opening up? So during the break, we were talking a little bit more about how it was like a dive bar feel.
Yeah, well, I would almost call it an elevated dive bar.
Okay.
So we're not necessarily serving amazing food, but we do have 5 food items that are going to be kind of pique people's interest, I think.
Okay,
a little
like
bit. We
what?
have some spicy jalapeno pickled eggs.
Okay.
Yeah. Turkey jerky, bison sticks.
Okay.
We're going to have a whole bunch of different chips that you can eat, and pickles in a bag.
Okay.
So I
Bagged
definitely
pickles.
not sure I would like highlight our food.
It's not a menu,
yes.
but it's a fun thing to experience while you're there,
Yeah,
right?
something a little funky and different. But the main thing is, I would love for people to come in for happy hour, go enjoy the River District food venues, go out for dinner, and then come back and party a little more with us.
So let's talk about these parties. What kind of music are you going to host at this venue? Is it all kinds? Is it a specific grouping?
Well, one thing is it will be a little bit more on the alternative side.
Okay.
So this is not a top 40 type place. We have local bands coming in, some punk, some really like chill nights as well.
Okay.
But afterwards, we really like our electronic music, like house, dub, techno, that type of music.
It brings me back.
Yeah. We're bringing the 90s back.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. No, that's fantastic, because there aren't really a lot of venues in the local area that play those kinds of music, but there is an audience for it. So I think that's wonderful that that's the kind of music that you would be bringing back on occasion, at very least.
The thing is, as well, if you're hosting a private event, then we will accommodate your needs for your music as well. Because if you're not into our music, we will definitely play what you would like to hear.
Sure.
For example, we have a 40th birthday that's booked out. The capacity is 60, and I think 60 people are coming, and they want to listen to 90s hip hop. So it will be
awesome.
90s hip hop 40th birthday.
I love that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's very appropriate for a 40th birthday.
Yes.
So no, I love that. So it is a space that people can book out personally for their own private events.
Yes, I would suggest getting on that as soon as possible, because our dates are actually pretty much getting all booked up.
Okay. Interesting.
So,
Would it be available on a Wednesday, perhaps? If because I know you're running events kind of Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If we wanted to throw an event on the Wednesday, is that something that you guys could make available, or no?
oh yeah, definitely.
Okay,
Yeah,
so there are
yeah.
those alternate days
That's
that if
true.
you are throwing some sort of private event, you could host in that in that space for that.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Now, beyond your delicious menu, I love it so much. I just see a lot of into the later hours of the evening, people making bets about how many certain things they can eat. Anyways, that's gonna happen one night when I'm there. But beyond that, if somebody wanted to host a private event, can they bring in their own food?
Absolutely. We are also really working together with the Milkmaid. They are actually hosting, or not hosting, but catering for the soft open,
Okay.
which sounds amazing because we're doing like smoked salmon bites and charcuterie boards. There'll be a vegan board, a
That's amazing.
gluten-free board. So I would love to continue promoting them for events because we're working really well together.
Yeah, well, it also helps when you hire somebody for your event that already knows the space, already kind of knows how to manage the numbers and what that looks like and stuff. So yeah, a lot of event spaces will have their main caterers and main partners and stuff like that. So it's so lovely that you're working so closely with the milkmaid on that. I'm never mad to eat the milkmaid, ever. So I'm sure most people will be happy about that. Now let's talk a little bit more about your relationship with Russ over at Sour Cat Records.
Yes.
You were mentioning that he's kind of the music facilitator, the booker, and he'll usually manage the ticket sales during the week.
Yes. Well, he is very knowledgeable about music, which is so good. I love music, but I'm not a music expert whatsoever. So it's so good to have someone like Russ on board that actually has like knowledge of the local bands, who can come in, what kind of vibe is going to be happening that evening. And he's open at regular hours, Monday through Saturday. I think it's 11 to 5. I think those are his hours.
Yeah, it's either 10 or 11.
Yeah, 10 or 11. And he will be able to sell you tickets for us.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I know he also has a huge selection of music in his store. Will there be any sort of partnerships with him carrying any sort of music from the people who are performing or anything like that?
I'm not totally sure, but probably.
I'll bug him about that later. Sometimes I just show up and I start asking random questions to Russ, and he's so lovely to just listen. No, it's so awesome that you guys are working together in collaboration with all these other local businesses, other people of our generation who have all chosen to come back to Owen Sound to build their businesses and that kind of stuff. And now you've basically built them a space to hang out after hours.
Yes.
Which is so wonderful. So you have a soft launch for invitation only the 23rd. You're opening to the public on the 30th. Tickets are already on sale for that. This show might actually air after that. So it was a great show.
Yeah, it went really well.
But beyond that, I want to hear more about the space and what it looks like for us to book it out privately. So what is the maximum number that I can have in there and book out privately? You said around 60?
50, I have to be honest, would be more comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have seats for 40, and then there'd be 10 people standing or dancing or walking. So 60,
Fair.
I think, would actually be like too much.
Well, depending on like if there's, more of a networking, walking around kind of vibe versus like the sitting and interacting type thing, right? It would really define or be defined by the way people are interacting in the space, I suppose, right? If I wanted to book it for a Christmas party on a Tuesday, could I do that?
Yes, you could.
Okay. And what time does happy hour start?
5 o'clock.
Okay, so it's not noon on Friday.
No.
And you said that it goes until late. So there is no official close down time. It's as long as the vibe is good and as long as the musicians or the music is still pumping, you're good to go.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about why you chose that space and you came to Owen Sound. You did not come to Owen Sound to build this business. You came back to Owen Sound to raise your children.
Yes.
And this just happened upon to be the right space at the right time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just, it was conversation with Jesse from Ramp.
Yeah.
He was transitioning to concentrate more on the Ramp magazine, and we've been thinking about doing something like this for ages, and we love the space. We both DJ'd there a couple evenings, so we like.
Hold on. You DJ?
I DJ. Yeah.
Okay. I need a minute to process that information.
But it's really...
I need to see that as well as soon as humanly possible because I think you are absolutely fantastic and would do an incredible job. But little Maxine Kitto, who I grew up with, DJing is probably my favorite thought in the entire world right now.
Well, it's definitely a passion. If I can bring two things that I love so much together, it's movement and music. So why not go for it?
That's incredible. Mm-hmm. And so do you and your husband just like hang out at home sometimes and like DJ together?
Yeah.
Is this how you like spend your quiet Friday nights?
That is how we spend our time, yes.
So do your boys DJ? Like, can they mix tracks and stuff?
Well, I think they have a little interest. I know their favorite song is really like techno dance song.
I love everything about everything that's
So
happening
there's
right
a
now.
lot of family dance parties at our house.
That's incredible. That makes me so happy to know that your kids are being raised in such a fun household and that you chose to do that back in Owen Sound. Now, I have one final question to ask you before we wrap everything up, even though I have 1,000 more questions that I want to ask you. Why do you, as a local, love it here?
Oh, I love Owen Sound, and I've always said this because I feel like it's a real town. It's a real like working town, and sometimes I think it's a little forgotten on the path going up the peninsula and driving to Toronto. So it's like a little hidden gem with real people, great neighborhoods, and just so much like natural resources around us with the lakes, Georgian Bay, being
The mountains,
there,
like you said earlier. Yeah.
It's super beautiful, but also a little secret still, I think.
No, that's perfect. And that's kind of exactly what I knew you would say, because we, again, grew up here at the exact same time. We saw Owen Sound at that time and grew into it and all of those kinds of things. And I'm so thrilled that you're back here with your family, raising them, and now opening up the Rumpus Room. Can you tell me one last thing? Where did the Rumpus Room come from?
Oh, well, this
The name
is
specifically.
quite an intimate name because when we were living in Australia, we had an amazing best friend. His name was Sean Mitchell, and we would meet at the Rumpus Room in Brisbane.
Okay.
It was like our local drinking dance hall, and they played exactly the music that we were playing. But unfortunately, Sean passed of bowel cancer at the age of 32.
Wow.
And he's just such an intellectually gifted guy, knew every plant medicine, and he was a doctor himself. So we honored his presence by calling our space the Rumpus Room so we can remember him.
I really love that. And thank you so much for sharing that with us. That is incredible, and it's heartwarming, and it is the vibe of Owen Sound, and we're so excited to have you as part of the River District now officially come September 30th. And I now give to you your official Locals Love It Here button.
Yay!
So my last guest, I did tell him that he had to put it on as awkwardly as possible in front of the camera.
Oh, I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna try not to be awkward.
You don't be awkward about it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it.
Well, success. Another successful buttoning. Thank you so much for coming and joining me today. I really appreciate it. This has been such a fun kind of, memory lane, kind of future looking great thing. I'm so glad our kids get to grow up in the same town that we did. Thank you again for joining me on My River District, and we will see you next time.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
I belong here.
You may think I don't fit in.
That I don't look the part.
But to me, curling is more than a sport.
It's my community.
Together, we can sweep away the barriers.
Create spaces where we all belong.
And experience the joy of curling.
I belong here.
We belong here. We unite, and united we curl.
Today, I helped a senior find transportation to an important medical appointment.
Today, I helped a new mom find virtual programming so she didn't feel so isolated.
Today,